So when we look at the book of Acts, it comes basically in two halves. It divides at the end of chapter 12. Up to the end of chapter 12, we are basically still in the Middle East, in the world of the Jews and their immediate neighbours, including the Samaritans, including some of the other territories that bump up against them. And yes, there is a hint when Peter goes to Cornelius in Acts 10 and 11 that then this is a sign that the gospel is going out to the Gentiles. And at the end of chapter 11, there is a sign that now in Syria, in the great city of Antioch, there is now a community that go by the name Christianoi, Christians, for the first time. But basically, Acts 1 to 12 is about the proclamation of Jesus as the King of the Jews under the nose of the present Jewish authorities, particularly the Herods, as usual as in the Gospels. There always seems to be a Herod in the background looking over the shoulder and saying, "What's going on here? I'm the King of the Jews, thank you very much." But at the end of Acts 12, the Herod at the time, Herod Antipas I, comes to a bad end, as we shall see. And so when we move to the second half of the book, chapters 13 to 28, which is all about the gospel going out into the Gentile world, into Caesar's world, into the world with a very different Lord, Kyrios in Greek, Kyrios Kaiser, Lord Caesar. Well, the gospel goes out there. And though it has a hard time getting to Caesar, because Paul is in prison in Caesarea and eventually has to appeal to Caesar in order then to get the Romans to take him to Rome finally. When he gets there, Luke says he is able then, even though he's under house arrest, to announce God as King and Jesus as Lord openly and without hindrance, with nobody stopping him and telling him, "No, you can't say that here." And that for Luke is the climax of the book. That he's announcing these things with all boldness. That's one of the key terms in Acts. The boldness which enables people to talk about Jesus in the face, sometimes literally, of rulers and authorities, whoever they may be. They're not shy, they're not afraid, because they believe that Jesus is the world's true Lord. So Luke says they do this, and Paul does it, with all boldness and with no one stopping him. You might have thought, well, there'd be plenty of people in Rome who would want to say, "For goodness sake, shut up that pestilent fellow because he's a thorough nuisance." But they don't. And so as far as Luke is concerned, it's been a huge journey to get there, but the gospel has got to the ends of the earth.